It's a pretty unique layout. It's a 65 plus a numpad. Yeah, and I do like the way everything's incorporated on the side too. You can see part of the way it's all very visually pleasing for sure. Just some disclosures. Frank has not paid me. I'm not keeping this, but Frank's also my friend. So you guys can, I'm still going to be hard on Frank right now. So the keyboard starts at $250, was it? For the all aluminum one. But then if you want the brass one, the brass bottom comes in at 450 USD. Let's take a look. Again, I've known Frank for a long time. I'm taking a look at it. I'm still going to be as critical as I possibly can on Frank. So we shall see. We got two different PCBs here. I think one's hot swap and one's solder. So did we want to do plateless today? Was that the goal for today, Frank? Yes, please? Okay. God, how much does this weigh, Frank? Oh my God. Wait, what is the weight on this? Does it even have a weight here? I don't even know if it does. Okay, I'm gonna weigh this afterwards. I don't see a weight. Really? Oh, it's on the Keycaps? I'm on Zenclack's page. That's why. Brass bottom. Oh my God. 3.5 kilograms almost. You'd multiply that by 2.2 to get pounds. So just imagine how much that is in pounds. It's like dragging everything across my desk right now. Oh my, dude, this is nice actually. Holy shit. There's the board. This is a neat little layout. You got the numpad going on, just so you guys can see the PCB as well. So right away, I like it. A little bit of a cherry lip, not as visible maybe on the camera, but it's definitely there. I like the side design. It's fun. Definitely something different. You don't normally see that. Very, very small cherry lip. Very, very small, very subtle. Love this a lot. Love this design on the side. Big old piece of brass. I actually really like how deep these grooves go. I think this adds a lot of texture to the board, visual texture if you want to call it that. ASCII-F. Here's the back of the board, weight peaks slightly through. I think the major selling point of this would be the layout. It's a pretty unique layout. It's a 65 plus a numpad. Yeah, and I do like the way everything's incorporated on the side too. You can see part of the way it's all very visually pleasing for sure. Definitely beige. Beige is a nice color here. We have a universal daughter board, it looks like. I really like even the thin separation we have between the numpad and the rest of the board here. And I think in this case here, the thicker side bezels, well, not thicker, but they're more thick than I normally would personally usually go for, but they make the board really stand out. And here's what it looks like from the side. Beautiful little PCB as well. Yeah, I think like right away, I can already tell you this is probably going to be the reason why people would get this. It's a unique layout with I'd even say somewhat unique design. Having these grooves on the side is kind of fun. This is fun too. I have to give it to Frank here. So from a technical standpoint, it's going to have a separate plate for this portion and this portion of the board. I also really appreciate the fact that it has some relief cuts to separate the numpad as well as the rest of the keyboard here as well for the PCB. This should give the board a more uniform sound profile when it comes to everything on this side, including, separating that plate too. It's nice to have that there. And then in terms of mounting, we don't have anything underneath the spacebar for something that's going to be like top mount, so very pleasant here. In terms of what we have for compatibility, there's a whole hell of a lot here. So without the relief cut, we had issues with too much vibration and rattle. Oh yeah, completely. I've already seen boards where they don't include this relief cut, as well as they use a full plate in PC, like a full plate for the whole PCB, and it's okay. Take a look at the hot swap. Not that we're going to use it today, but what do you get with the hot swap unit? Is it more limited? You get a fixed 7U spacebar on the hot swap. I don't know if that's going to be changing. I like the green that they use, very classic, but a little bit more limited. You don't get any left shift here. I think I would have preferred, because you have ISO support. Maybe my only gripe here, and again, I kind of advocate for the hot swap PCB users here. I think I would have liked this at least maybe see an ISO enter, as well as the split left on this. I mean, it is what it is, I guess. And again, I would have liked to see some options with the spacebar. I feel like that's semi-easy to implement. Maybe not actually, because of all the Swiss cheese we have down here. Either way, you still get some options here, so more than other people offer. By some, I mean realistically just the split backspace. Very limited. If I were to choose one, I'd say just grab the solderable unit. It makes more sense in the long run. Actually, not even a step caps versus a regular. I'm surprised that's not there.
Alex likes hot swap. I thought he hated it.
No, I'm saying, Frank, you can't do a regular one if you want it. That's smudge for the regular users. Again, I'm going to be super critical for Frank. Nah. No. We have to be fair. But who uses regular? Listen, I actually know a lot of people who use regular. To be fair, again, I'm not joking around. We have our hardware here, and I think that's really it for hardware, right? I'm not really missing anything, not that I see. Sound test? Bro, we haven't even finished it. So we're not using any plates, but there is a... Is this aluminum or is this FR4? I think this is FR4 and polycarb. We're not using these today anyways, so... Fun looking board so far. I think this is unique enough that it stands out in the market. All right, time to install some switches. So we're doing this plateless. It does look nice. This does look nice. What's the front height? It's 17.8 before the cherry lip, and then after the cherry lip's done, it's 20 mil. Look at all that brass, big yum. Here is the inside of the board. I mean, there's not a whole lot to look at here. It's a top mount keyboard, so pretty standard fare when it comes to these things. I don't know what switches or keycaps I'm gonna use in this yet. Still undecided. I think just out of the sake of, and I know some people don't like this, I do this anymore, but I do it for a reason, just so we have a better idea of what stuff sounds like. But I think let's just stick with GMK ABS. It's very standard here on what we do. I think FTRO would be a really cool set for this. I'm actually down to do that. Yeah, I think we do the yellow accents or yellow alert row. Got a little ASCII-F action going on. Actually, let's show you guys the keyboard one more time. There's that side profile, that beautiful ASCII-F side profile. Very deep grooves, love that. Actually, I would say the USB-C, if you guys want some notes here, the USB-C isn't that recessed. So if you guys have a really long cable with like a longer exposed bit on the end, you might see a bit more of it. Slightly recessed, but not quite. Love it though. What a good looking keyboard. Nice layout, little cherry lip on the front there. The brass version is extremely heavy. Now, we did build this plateless. We did use some Gateron Milky Yellows. A little bit of case resonance. I think that will be very much amplified with the aluminum version. It is extremely deep sounding. I think I would personally though, and maybe we can do that right now, I think I would switch this for a cherry switch. Maybe a little bit deeper on the plateless. If you guys don't mind, we can switch that right now. I think going with a cherry switch would be a little bit better here. So let's do that. It does sound really good though. The alphas, I mean, it has that typical kind of like deepness that you would get with a plateless board. And what's really nice about this too is it actually has a really nice resonance to it. It's not hollow. It's more of like a, I mean, yeah, it's just the brass kind of resonating with the top. Let's try a cherry switch. I'm very curious. It takes us 2 seconds to do that. Plus we'll open up the wrist rest. If you're gonna go plateless, perhaps consider choosing a spacebar or a modifier switch that has a bit more deep or a sharpness to it like this. I think this is a better choice. Milky Yellows, I'd say they work well in like 99% of builds. They do kind of amplify a deepness of a board. So let's see now what this sounds like. Oh, much better. Yeah, I think this is one of those boards that absolutely needs a cherry for the spacebar. It sounds uneven on the left. I mean, it happens sometimes with boards. You don't always get an even sound signature just due to like the structure of a case. Don't forget, technically this is the center of the PCB and this is more to the left. Even though it has a relief cut here, sometimes it happens. You're not gonna always get like the most even sound signature. Not a whole hell of a lot you can do about it, but it does happen sometimes. The alphas are very, very nice. I do admit, I do like the right side of this a little bit more. You guys got me a little curious now. I want to see something. What if I were to do one thing to the right side, which is maybe unscrew a mounting point? I don't know if there's 2 on that particular side though. Yeah, there's 2 mounting points here. I'm curious. What if I were to do this? Last thing I'm gonna try is just reseating the stab, see if that helps a little bit. But like I said, sometimes with boards, there are some variants between left and right. Yeah, so it's still the same. The left side seems to be a bit thuddier. Right side's a little bit more of that typical kind of like snap. Beautiful board made by a beautiful man. Yeah, I think it's really, really, really nice board. Typical top mount kind of beautiful resonance and feedback there. Very classic top mount for anyone who wants to do a classic top mount board. And then you also get some of that nice, I would almost call it feedback. And by the way, if you guys are not into like the feedback from a plateless variation of this, you are going to get feedback from a top mount board using plateless. With the plate, I find it's not as bad, that you don't get as much of the feedback, but with plateless, absolutely. So if you guys are into that, like feeling some of that vibration, I would even say think like F1, OG F1. Then if you like it, do this plateless if you guys are planning to pick this up. If you do not like that, and I know some people don't, like let's be real, probably just grab a plate. Yeah, I will agree with Frank, it is minimal, but it's definitely there. Like you will feel it every time you press a key. There's a smidge of feedback, which again, that's kind of the point, but the 6065 layout feels like a Tofu 65 extended. I dig the layout, it's unique. Very, very fun. So this is the wrist rest. Damn, it fits so perfectly. God, that looks so good. Yeah, this does look really good too. The wrist rest looks really good with this too. I'm not a wrist rest guy, so this is not something I would pick up, like just to be honest with you guys, but I do like maybe the continuity of the design here kind of passing on to the wrist rest. I do like when people do that. Is the wrist rest included in the board, by the way? Or is that extra? Oh no, it's $50. $50 for an aluminum wrist rest. It's okay. I wouldn't say that's good or bad. I'd say it's a pretty solid extra pickup. Love the design on that. Yeah, it's fun. You got also some little dampeners here so it doesn't make contact with the board and smash into it. You know, very nice. Kind of goes nice and flush with that cherry lip as well. So it's really cool. Bye, everybody. Love ya.